Hey there guys, and welcome back. Got this crazy draft that I got that I'll probably have going in the background while I talk about this, but I drafted 3 Wolfsbanes. I started going for like a trolley draft. I drafted 3 Uma's Curses and a Durringary, or Gontar Dim I mean, and then it ended up working out because I got King Braun in the end as my last choice, so I ended up with 3 Wolfsbanes, 2 Ermions, 3 Uma's Curses, and a Gontar Dim, and it ended up being some pretty crazy games. I had no Isengrim, and I had 1 Ale of Ancestors to deal with the weather. Ended up getting 9 wins, so I mean, I wanted to go over the games and show you guys some stuff that you might find entertaining, because I mean, 3 Wolfsbanes is pretty crazy when it works out, so yeah, let's get right into this. Alright. Here, I sped up some of the clips and stuff for you guys so it's easier. Just slowed it down on like the Wolfsbane plays and stuff. Pretty sure you can follow with what's going along at super speed. But here, this was the first one, and I discarded the Wolfsbane, and I was having trouble deciding what else to discard because I had a lot of filtering in this deck, so I just decided to discard the Blue Stripe Scout and Roach since it was the last 2 cards, and then I speed it up here because not much happens. Except that Dijkstra worked out perfectly. It grabbed me the Corinther to pull her into the weather, and then Uma's Curse made me a Roach to do 7 damage. So boom, Triss Butterfly was dealt with. I didn't think I was going to be able to deal with that. And of course he has Skellige Storm. It was weather spam all over. So then after that I discard my 2 Wolfsbanes in my hand to basically get 2 free draws. The first Wolfsbane triggers. This puts me back in the lead, thankfully. And then we speed it up again. He actually went with Ethne, and he had some decent amount of spells for it. Night Vilk Forge, just normal things happen in that. For normal arena plays, he plays Letho of Gullet. I really thought he had the Regis too, but he didn't. Then the double Wolfsbane triggers, and at this point, even with his Skellige Storm and Fog spam, I'm 60 to 8. And that was pretty much the win for that round, so I just sped it up to show the end. Imler or Yorvith, and I Seltricked. He Vilkforged, and this is where I got scared, because he Vilkforged into a Dijkstra, or no, Renew. A Renew, which gave him a Dijkstra. And I was like, what? No, I can't lose it now. This was like my first round with the deck, and I was like, it's gonna be so disappointed if I lost right here. So he pulls an Assassinate. I'm like, well, crap, now he only needs, like, since I'm taking 5 damage from the weather, he only needs, like, 14 points from that gold to win this. But he ends up pulling a Scorch, and a Skuru, and there's nothing to Scorch or Epidemic, so we ended up winning that one. I was like, yes. So, that's the first one. Then we get into the next one that I found interesting, and it's King Braun right into the double Wolfsbane. And I think I end up getting rid of Blue Stripe Commando here. Pretty sure. I was debating on it. No, I ended up getting rid of Roach, maybe. Yeah, because I got rid of Blue Stripes Commando in one of the games, and he ended up playing Tibber, and then I didn't get my card advantage from it. I was like, oh. But he got his Blue Stripes Scout Commando in his hand. So I played Ermion next to discard the Wolfsbane. I was trying to decide which other card would be best to keep, whether it be the Renew or the Assassinate. Ended up getting rid of the Assassination because I had a couple good Renew targets. And we speed it up again. Ends up playing Vernon Roach. Go Dijkstra into Blue Stripes Commando and Uma's Curse. Wonderful. But Uma's Curse ended up giving me Series Fearless, which I was really debating because she never works in normal mode, but I was like, oh, his removal might be gone by now. So maybe she'll work. And she ended up popping off for me, and I was like, yes. So then we get the double Wolfsbane trigger that he was trying to play around while he was playing low power units. So he did counter the value that I got from that a little bit. But we got a Series Fearless, and I still had an Ermion in my deck. So I was like, if I can just Royal Decree that Ermion, I can hopefully draw one of the 2 units left in my deck. Oh, did I? Just checking my graveyard because he knew another Wolfsbane was coming. Not sure why I didn't speed up this part. Probably, oh yeah, here we go. Skuru scorches me. I'm like, oh, it's unfortunate. But we get the Royal Decree into Ermion. think I meant to do speed up there. And yeah, we draw the Triss and the Karen. So I was like, well, I got a decent amount of units down. Triss is going to be another unit, so should probably go with that. And Wolfsbane's going to hit something anyway. And the Triss actually with the Unicorn, that gives my Wolfsbane more value. Since this highest unit was 5, now I technically get 1 more point off that anyway. So now it's 6 to 52. And that was pretty much the shutout for that game. So just fast forward here, I ended up grabbing Celtric, dueling his Unseen Elder. He Vilforce, so I was like, oh no, not another Vilforce combo, but it was just into Shahil. So this guy drafted like 3 Burma Bronze and stuff, and I just could not deal with all this weather. I ended up getting the triple Wolfsbane discard with King Braun though, which was pretty cool. Because like that's going to be a lot of points. Because right now we're in a really bad position. I got 1 fog that's counting, and I have no way to clear out this weather or anything. He actually complimented me. I got like no GGs while I ran this deck, except for like the 9th win. So of course I complimented him back. Nobody GG'd me, except for the last guy on the 9th win, which was very surprising to me, because I was like, wow, that's the guy who's going to do it. But he had a pretty troll deck too. We'll see that in a minute. Ends up rolling the Kyriing into Imlerith. Like, well, I got 2 more turns on that. I'll assassinate that Imlerith off. And takes forever to decide his turn, if I remember right. Yeah, Succubus. So of course I Karen that to get rid of it. And then we get our triple Wolfsbane trigger. Which is just crazy. It's 12, 24, 30, 36 points when all 3 of those trigger at once. That's absolutely ridiculous. It basically makes King Braun, if I go triple Wolfsbane, into a 38 point leader. We get Shahil, Dijkstra, and I get Hermione and Blue Stripe Commando, of course, because he loves grab me that. But he gets a Dijkstra into another Shahil. He must have drafted a few of them. Which is kind of unfortunate. And he gets Numa's Curse into a Gura Scorch. I was like, wow, he caught right back up. Which was pretty intimidating. So I dropped my Karen. And I think it's pretty much a shutout. He Royal Decrees out with Celtric. I renew out my Dijkstra. Uma's Curse ends up giving me Siri Dash. It's like, yeah. It was the highest one that I could use though. I went with the Thunderbolt Potion there because I was like, he might have some way to do damage to that row. This guy, he drafted 3 Imleriths, 3 Dijkstras, 2 Hedgemers. I killed the first Hedgemer there. I went into the first round, showed the first round on this one just to show you how crazy this guy's draft was. Because he was so mad when I beat him. He had to be or something because he didn't even GG me and he had like crazy cards. Like here, I play as Arceus and I look at his deck, I'm like, oh wow, look at those 3 Sabbaths, and he had like 2 Burma Bronze, 2 Celtrics, 2 Hedgemers, 2 Dijkstras, 3 Dijkstras actually, because he had one in his hand too. Holy crap. So I was sitting here, and I actually ended up putting this similar Sabbath at the bottom of his deck, because I thought I showed you in the order. So my idea was to Schiller the next one, but it didn't work out that way. So we skip into round 3. He starts out with Drought, because weather's pretty OP in this arena, since weather clear isn't so common. So we go to the triple Wolfsbane, King Braun to start. Since that thing's just going to die anyway, so if he has any targeting cards, he doesn't get value. But he ended up playing one of his Dijkstras to a Celtric into a Burna Braun. I'm like, oh, well, I'd rather play in the Frost, so I just dropped Corinther there. There's his 12 power one that he got. And this is what I was saving my Celtric a Gullet for, so I ended up being able to deal with that, luckily. And then my triple Wolfsbane triggers, and they all go to him, so this makes his next, few Imleriths just useless. And this wipes his field of everything. So now we have a 29 power unit to nothing on his field. And I was hoping he didn't have the Scorch. Luckily he didn't. He ended up grabbing Hedgemer here. Now, I slowed down here because this was pretty important actually. I was pretty happy with this play. I ended up keeping Unicorn and Karen. because I knew I had to deal with that golem guy, or else Hegemir was going to get super strong. Of course, he plays a third Dijkstra. Basically plays his whole deck this game. And I think he ends up grabbing some crazy stuff. Oh yeah, Gura to buff him up. And at this point, it's really close because I'm sitting in a Skellige Storm and getting full value, and he's getting full value on Drought too. So here I'm like, crap, well, I can block that damage with Yennefer Unicorn, because then I'll have a 1 power that'll eat the damage, and it'll buff it by 2, so then it won't die in time. That ends up lining his Agura up to a 7 for my Karen, and that ends up being the win there. I think he was just salty because that was like pretty much the only way to deal with how much of a point lead he had. Because that was a pretty ridiculous draft. There was the 9th win draft was the only one more ridiculous than that. And I think there's only like 2 more games they ended up showing. Yeah, he forfeited, then no GG. They don't like me. So, what was this one? Oh, Dandelions. A lot of people drafting a Dandelion. This guy had 24 power Dandelions. Actually, this is the last game right here. And I pretty much did the full thing because there was some really cool things here. Like, he played Vilforge, which luckily, that's why I draft Blue Stripe Scout. So I just passed here because he's so many points ahead now after he plays Letho and burned my highest units. But I got my card advantage anyway, since it's like now I'm 2 cards up. And I had Blue Stripe Scout. So I fast forward here, threw back the Blue Stripe Scout. And he starts off with Valintra Tenemirth. I was like, well crap, I don't have that many low power cards. So he was actually debating on playing this Arceus. I was like, no, he definitely has lots of things lower than 13 if he's starting out with Valintra Tenemirth. So I just go Uma's Curse. Uma's Curse ends up giving me Siri Dash, which I was a bit risky to pull it because it is 11. I could have just went with a 5, but the 5 wasn't enough to bring him down to 7. It would only bring him down to 8, so I couldn't renew into a Karen after that. Which I still have my King Braun ability at this point, so I was like, yeah, that might work out. And he ends up dropping Seltrick here. I was like, okay. So now I don't have to worry about that. That goes back into my deck. And here I almost didn't do this, and I was like, waste a Yunkan Unicorn here to make sure that he goes up to 10, because then I can renew a Shillard, who's 9, and his Scorch will Scorch him if things go right. So, I was debating on Hermione and just fighting through the Scorch, or just dropping a Yenkan that's technically giving him more points at the moment. End up going with the Yennefer, luckily. So, yeah, play the Unicorn. He now has the highest unit, and I have a way so that way I can res a 9 power unit, and then that Scorch is going to hit him was the plan. But I figured maybe he had some way to reverse the roles on me, so my Yenkan got buffed up instead or something. Because he is running a Live Avenger Joel. How that elf guy, that elf leader. I don't know his name, how to pronounce it at least. He ends up pulling, he was looking for some buff card or something just so I got Scorched instead of him. But unfortunately the best buff card that he had was Becker's Twisted Mirror, which ended up giving my Unicorn more power. It did put it at 11, so I had the highest unit, but now I had the answer to deal with that Scorch, and I just renewed my Karen. Kinda lucky on how things worked out there. I was like, okay, good. Now we're looking good. I mean, I have 5 cards, he has 3. And it's still crazy, because this guy had the crazy Dandelion Poet, 24 power Dandelion, or not Poets, Dandelion Vanglories. It's like, crap, well, I'll just play Arceus to keep myself in the lead by 1 point so I can try to keep my card advantage. I looked at his draft, he didn't have many good-looking things, but I mean, he did have a lot of Geralt, Sultans, and Yenkan, Yennefers, and Trisses for that Dandelions, but he drafted like 3 of those, so I mean, worked out for him. Ended up going Vilforge into Yenkan, or Yen, the one that does 1 damage. So I'm like, well, I might as well get my Wolfsbanes ticking. I get Gaunter, because I was thinking I'm probably going to need those points. And if he passes here, then those will carry into the next round anyway, and I'll be able to go into the next round with a Dijkstra and my leader. Because even if Gaunter O'Dim didn't pull me something, I could just drop him, and I'd be in the lead. Then I could open Dijkstra into double Wolfsbane into whatever he pulled me. Was the plan. I didn't think he was going to play this last card, but he did. He ended up renewing out his Dandelion Vainglory. Like, well, crap, he's 30 points ahead now. So I go Gaunter O'Dim. Of course, I lose the roll. Happens half and half. I always guess higher than 6, though. Here's slight misplay, I think. I didn't accidentally add it up because I just figured I had it. And I wanted to get the next Wolfsbane ticking so I could draw into maybe that Siri Dash. And I wanted to discard her too, to buff her up. And I actually ended up not being enough with my double Wolfsbane. I was like 1 point off, so I was like, crap, I should have just played my Dijkstra. So now I'm forced to play my Dijkstra and thin my deck out more, which gives me a Seltric and an Ermion. Which thins my deck by 2 more, since I have to guarantee discard those. Luckily it was an Assassinate or a Roach. So that leaves me with 4 cards. I'm like, I have a 1 in 4 chance of, 2 in 4 chance of drawing into Siri Dash, which is a pretty strong card right now, and then I have the Wolfsbane going. So that's all I was hoping for. I was like, come on, give me that Siri Dash, because that's the only thing that's going to fight his Dandelion Vainglory. I ended up getting it, my 18 power Siri Dash. I was like, yes. So now even if he has his Dandelion, we tie at least. But he didn't even have that, so he ended up forfeiting. But he could GG'd me, the one guy to GG me in the 9 games. And this time, at 9 wins on the new account, we did get a gold that we did not own, which was made me very happy. We got a coral, so there's that. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, that was a crazy triple Wolfsbane, triple Uma's Curse run that I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have a good one.